Inside this box is my first sponsorship. But before we open it up, let me say this is the perfect opportunity to put over 20 years of barbering knowledge into one video. I've tested many clippers over the years, so I definitely know what it takes to have a good pair of clippers. We're gonna run these bad boys through a sequence of tests. Not only are we gonna unbox it, but I'm gonna let you guys know whether these clippers should be a part of your barbering arsenal. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, by the end of this video, you're gonna know. Let's hop in it. Let's see what we got here. Let's do this. All right, let's look on the back before we get started. All right, so let's take a close-up look. These things look good. Let's go ahead and check them out. Looks like this is how we're gonna pull the clipper out of the box. Okay. Accessories. Sign. Right here. So first of all, we're going to pull out the blending clippers. Now, let's pull out the trimmers. Pop this bad boy off. First, let's take a look at the trimmer itself. Power switch right here. Pretty sharp out the box. We're definitely gonna adjust them, guys. I like the grip on them though. The grip on these bad boys, they're not too heavy, but they're sturdy. The front, you could tell there's some type of metal, aluminum maybe. I like it, but we're gonna go ahead and break these down too in a second. We're not gonna turn them on until we charge them. All right, looks like these are the charging ports. Let's pop it out of the pack. They look very similar, just one is a little bit smaller than the other one. We're gonna go ahead and go over all this stuff right here. Let's start with these, okay? Then we're gonna go into this one. Then we got probably the most critical clip of them all. We got our 5 clip. We got the 3. We got the 4. Standard tools. Half clip, 1 clip, 1.5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the first haircut we're gonna be doing with the black Obsidian clippers by SUPRENT Pro. He's gonna be getting a taper fade, and I got a surprise towards the end of this haircut, so stick with me. Let's start with the taper. Of course, I got the one clip on there because we like to keep his sideburns, so let's go ahead and start debulking as we work our way up with the taper. I did a little bit of clipper over comb work for you guys just so we can blend what we have down bottom into what he has up top. I also wanted to give you guys some sound testing so you can hear how they work just as much as you see it. So when you see this icon, I'm gonna quiet down so you can hear these clippers cut through hair. As you guys can see, super crispy lines, so these trimmers are some hitters. But let's see how the blending clippers work by shaping up this fro. No lie, these clippers were cutting through his hair like a hot butter knife cuts through butter. Not all clippers are good with shaping up afros, so I was actually pretty surprised. But let's talk more about this back taper. We originally didn't plan to put a design in the back taper, and let me tell you why. I was really skeptic about the trimmers because I use certain trimmers when I do my designs. It's like I have certain instruments that do certain things for me, but these things did not just work good edging his sideburns, but doing a design. So I did a freestyle design in the back, and let me tell you guys, I was impressed. Not with just the trimmers, but the entire clipper set overall. I did want to give you guys some more sound testing, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut up while you guys peep game and hear how these bad boys taper. I noticed once I started getting towards the end of the haircut that the trimmers and clippers both had plenty of battery life left, and I wanted to do back-to-back haircuts to see how many I could do before they get low on battery life. But anyways, this is the aftermath of a taper fade with a freestyle hair design in the back. Next up, we're gonna be doing a mid-razor fade pompadour. Completely different type of haircut, completely different type of hair type. Let's go ahead and get started by debulking some of this hair he has up top. Let's leave some hair in the front for the pompadour, but let's go ahead and see how the trimmers debulk by setting in this fade guideline. Once we get our guidelines set in, we can actually start detailing with our clippers. So let's start blending. Let's finish up with the mid-razor fade so we can blend what he has up top into what he has for the pompadour. We're gonna do this with some clipper over comb work. Now, I could have used my shears in this next section of the video, but that's neither here or there. We're talking about the black Obsidian clippers, and I'm gonna show you how they cut through wet hair. Once I made sure the hair was even, I went ahead and texturized it with the clippers. Now, let's clean his hairline up with a little edgy edge up. keeping the hairline all natural. Next, let's clean up them bushy brows. Around the eyebrow area, the skin tends to be a little bit more sensitive, so being able to use these trimmers around this area is a big plus for me. But this is the aftermath of a mid-razor fade pompadour. Lastly, we're gonna make this client go from looking sad to happy by giving him a fresh razor mid-fade comb over. Let's start off by debulking some of this hair he has on the side with our trimmers. This is also setting in that fade guideline. Once we cut down all the hair off the sides of our client's head with the trimmers, we're gonna pull out our clippers and start the blending process. Of course, we started off by debulking with that 1.5 so we can work on detailing by fading. Once we're finished with the blending, we can move forward to some clipper over comb work. I like to pull the lever back with no clip on the clipper when I'm using the clipper over comb technique. This technique is also great from blending from one size to whatever your client has up top, all in one swipe instead of jumping from clip to clip. But let's finish detailing this fade so we can get into the next step and cut the top of our client's hair. In this next clip, I'm using a technique called clipper over finger. It's very similar to using your shears. And again, guys, I could have used my shears for this portion of the haircut, but I wanted to be as authentic as possible and give you guys a proper review so you guys can actually see how these clippers work. And this is the third haircut, and so far so good. But let's test these trimmers out by doing a crispy edge up. Super crispy lines, guys, as you can see. And sadly to say, this is the third and final haircut. Not because the clippers died, but they were low on battery life, and I didn't want to take the chance of starting a fourth haircut and not being able to finish it with the clipper set. But this is the aftermath of a mid-razor fade comb over by the SUPRENT Pro Black Obsidian clipper set.
Heard you talking all about it, I really got it. Heard you talking all about it, but I really got it.
So guys, how did the Black Obsidian clipper set by SUPRENT Pro actually perform? Before I give my final thoughts, let me remind you guys that this was my very first sponsorship ever. So when a clipper company that I never heard of before hit me up, I was super thankful, but also really skeptical. My first thoughts were these things gonna be cheap like some Temu or TikTok clippers? Were they gonna be poorly made? Were they gonna overheat, weak power, weak battery life? Are they gonna be able to last being a busy barber in a barber shop? Are they beginner friendly, budget friendly? Trust me guys, I had all the same questions you guys are probably asking yourself. And after using them for over a month, here's my honest take. I was surprised because I didn't expect my first sponsorship to be with a clipper brand this good. These things compete with the best of them. And I'm not even saying that. I use these things for over a month and I didn't want to just use them right out of the box. I wanted to put them through weeks of testing, making sure they didn't overheat, making sure they didn't break down, making sure they weren't poorly made, making sure the blades didn't dull fast. All these things I wanted to run through the sequence of testing to give you guys a proper review. So the first thing I did notice, guys, when pulling these things out of the box was the weight. You know, great quality, great design, very familiar framing, but the power, once I started using these things, packed a punch, and it really explained the weight of the clippers. Usually when you first get clippers, they're all start off powerful, but these things didn't just come out of the box powerful, but after using them for over a month, you could tell these things were built to last. Not just the clippers, but the trimmers too. The clippers cut through every type of hair, guys. As you've seen, tapers, fades, Great at cutting wet hair, dry hair, straight hair, curly, coarse hair, you name it, I did it. Great battery life. I did 3 haircuts with these things, and my haircuts are about an hour and a half. Realistically, if you're in a barber shop, when you're using the clipper, you're gonna have these on the charger, and when you're using these, you're gonna have these on the charger. So it shouldn't be a problem for all professional barbers, and it shouldn't be a problem for beginners, because you guys are only doing a few cuts probably a day anyways. But yeah, I would have to say, guys, the power on these explained the weight. When I get a new clipper set, I always adjust the blades right when I get them. So that's exactly what I did. But I'm not sure I had to, especially for the trimmers. Let me explain. On that first haircut, that back taper design, we didn't initially plan to do it. And I used a completely different set of trimmers for my designs. So the fact that the SUPRENT Pro trimmers were able to debulk, do a clean, crispy edge up, and do a back taper design on the spot are 3 big bonuses for me. These things were so sharp, in fact, I had to go back and readjust them. So beginners, I say try them out before making any blade adjustments. Hey guys, real fast, I didn't cover this in the unboxing portion of the video. I apologize, but I noticed it as soon as I got in with my first haircut when I was cleaning the clipper. It has a detachable blade on the clipper, not the trimmer, just the clipper. And you know, it's just good to remove at the end of the day to get all that hair and gunk out, clean it up, spray some Cool Care up in there. Cool Care sponsored me one time. You just attach it, reattach it, very easy, very simple. Let's wrap it up and give you my final thoughts. The big question is, does the black Obsidian clipper set by SUPRENT Pro actually work? Well, you guys actually see me put in work with these clippers, and I can honestly say they compete with the best of them. You guys get a budget-friendly clipper that competes with the best brands in the barbering industry. It's a no-brainer for me. And that's not even the best part. SUPRENT Pro gave me the opportunity to give my audience an exclusive discount. So if you hit the link in the description and use code DK25 at checkout, you'll receive 25% off this clipper set. So whether you're trying to level up your clippers or you just want to try them out for yourself, make sure you hit the link in the description and use code DK25 at checkout. And not just that, if you guys cop these or if you already have them, hit my comments. Let me know if you like them, the pros, the cons, and if I missed anything, I respond to every single one of my comments, and let me know for future videos. It's your boy DK the Barber, back at it again with another video, my first sponsorship, and make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe for the best barbering content here on YouTube, and I'll see you guys next time. Tuning out.
I've been working really grinding, timeless, timing, perfect, see me wildin'.